So again, this is what everyone will be doing. This would be the logo for. Um,
I have a question.
Sure.
With the as far as the ordering of the pictures, you mean do you want me to be like doing that in the Google Drive?
Just it doesn't have to be. Just whatever you send me, um, like whatever. Yeah, let's say it would be in Google Drive. So you'd have like maybe like let's say Aunt Lenore is the customer. You'd have Aunt Lenore 20 photos of her as a child, 20 from ages from 0 to 20, 20 photos from 20 to 40, 20 from 60 to 80, that sort of thing. That way it allows me to edit it much more quickly. So I price a video montage. So when I say video montage, this is like a montage that I made for my dad. So
Right.
that sort of thing. And then for documentary, if they wanted to purchase a documentary, it's going to be much more expensive because it's much more labor intensive, and it would require travel on my part. So this would be, I was thinking about probably about $5,000 per every 10 minutes. Obviously, I don't think many people are going to want anything more than 10 minutes long because, let's say people visit your grave, like how many, there's a reason why YouTube videos are between 5 and 10 minutes long because that's pretty much someone's attention span. They don't. But if you want something longer than that, we'll do it, but you're going to pay more. So Hula's video was 30 minutes, and that would be more in the line of between like 15 and 20 grand. Obviously that's a lot of money. That's why I think we'd probably sell a lot more of these video montages than we would documentaries. And plus the video montages, we can sell these to anyone in the world, versus these are more limited to. And let me come back to that too. Do that. Basically, this is how I have the price. It's basically we pay ourselves $40 per hour. So if you worked a 40-hour work week times 52 weeks in the year, it would add it up to a little about $83,000 in terms of like salary. That's assuming we have customers, of course, that we would have enough customers to keep us busy at that level. Any extra money beyond that, that pool would just go to advertising. So like commercials and things like that. We keep track of our hours worked individually, so you just like every week track how many hours you put in. If more money starts coming in, we can revise. This is just the beginning, sort of what I worked out in my head, and then use current resources to avert loss. So mostly, a lot of this stuff, like paying for a website, I'll just spend out of my own money. So if it bombs, like maybe I spent like $1,000, which isn't bad, but I don't want to spend like 10 grand investing in new equipment, and then like it bombs, and then I'm out 10 grand.
Yeah.
This way, like I want to try to keep it to like like maybe like putting in $1,000 of my own money, and then if it bombs, it bombs. We make some money. We make some money. Obviously, we all have jobs beyond this, so that's kind of what I was thinking in terms of is that we spread out the work. That way we can each put in a couple hours every week, and then maybe as it starts to take off, then we can start putting in more hours, and maybe it could come to a point where we're actually doing it as a full-time thing.
Yeah. If we ever get to the point of actually having customers, I'd like to help out with the filming and the editing portions.
All right. That's another way you can put in more hours too. So these are some photos. When I say take photos, my brother and I were out biking yesterday, and these are just some photos that I took of nature. That we can put into the videos.
That's nice.
Yeah. And again, I just shot these with my my $50 LG smartphone that has like a 13 megapixel camera. So now these are photos I took from like 15 years ago. When I made that little documentary about the changing seasons of Oshkosh, and you can notice that the quality is lessened. And so basically, if we had customers like, and we had to use these photos, I think we could get away with it. But this is another reason why I want to sort of launch more towards like mid-March, because by then I'll have had the opportunity to take more photos like these, and
Yeah.
these, because obviously it's not winter and it's not the spring. I do have photos of winter and spring and winter turning in the spring. We kind of have to wait until the seasons pass.
And you said with the pictures, you want us to take them like horizontally, right?
Yeah. So landscape version. So
Yeah.
basically, one of the things I want for you to do when you're talking to an elderly woman, let's say, almost everyone has like a smartphone these days. So like basically you're gonna tell the old lady, you're gonna say, okay, old lady, go through your photo albums, and then we'll have an instructional video on the website, right? And it will say like, okay, old lady, like set up a good lighting, a well lit area, probably like during the daytime. And then go through your photo albums, and then landscape your phone, and then take the pictures on your smartphone like this, and then just email us those photos or upload them to Google Drive. They probably won't know how to do that, but they can probably know how to send it in an email. And then we'll organize those photos. I'll take the photos, and then I'll edit them on a timeline, and then Edward will score them, and then that's how it's going to be like a factory. Basically like Henry Ford and his Model T factory. It's kind of the way I see this is like a factory. And eventually we're going to have like, let's say, 10 to 12 really good scores that Edward has done, like 10 to 12 sequences of really nice photos like this. And then all we have to do is cut and paste their photos in between these, and then we just want, we just sell these as sort of prefabricated, much like a headstone, So the cost of like a cheap headstone is like $1,000. So this is about the same cost that, which would you rather have marking your grave, headstone or something that looks like, like a film of your life, That's the other thing my brother and I talked about yesterday, is that we can market this to people who are still alive. So people who maybe are close to death and realize that they don't have too many years left, or even people who are maybe in their 40s and 50s that just want to like document like every 10 years, like document, this is what, when I was in my 40s, this was like something really important that happened, like I had a kid. In my 50s, this is something really almost like the Up documentaries, if you've ever seen those.
No.
They basically film this group of children from the ages of 7 all the way up to like they're 63 up now. So every 7 years they film another segment with them to show you where they're at in their life. So almost like you could do something like that. You have like every 10 years you have like another couple minutes of that person.
Yeah, isn't that kind of similar to that Boyhood movie?
Yeah. So basically I'm redoing my dad's video, except I'm going to do it so that with proper raster dimensions. So it's like, this is like a 16:9 ratio, right? So it fits like an HD TV, and you don't get the pulling. So before I didn't know what I was doing, and then when I was inserting the photos into the video editor, if it doesn't line up with this 16:9 ratio, then it pulls the photo and it causes distortion. So
Okay.
as long as I put the photos in the 16:9 ratio, you don't get that distortion on the ends, and so it looks more professional like that. That's why I'm redoing his video. I hope to have it done by the end of next week, and then hopefully the Bula documentary will also be done within a week or so. And then, Edward said his fiance, they want me to do a video. So we'll have a couple of these that we can put on a website
Yeah.
and basically make a commercial. So I was thinking like shooting, it could be like you and me out in a graveyard, and we're walking along, and you're telling me about the service, and I'm like, yeah, um, never a fun time going to the gravestone, but my heart lights up every time I see this film that was created about my dad. And then, it shows us clicked on the QR code in the graveyard, and, like watching it, like it shows people like, yeah, you can go to the graveyard, and it's like a way of being immortal almost. And then,
Where would the commercial? Oh, I see that on there. I was
yeah,
going to
so
say, where would
basically,
this be?
where would we air the commercial? So basically, Green Bay, and then I don't have Madison, but we go from Green Bay all the way down to Chicago. Green Bay is about 2 hours of me north, and Chicago is about 2 hours of me south. So that's probably about the limits of like realistically of like um, if we were gonna do the documentaries where I would have to travel. Probably not a whole lot of people out in Northeast Wisconsin that are going to show up $5 grand for a documentary. But maybe in Chicago, yeah, where people have more money. I could see us selling some. Basically, we
Yeah.
could air the commercials sort of in this area as well as Madison as well. So this is a pretty good from here to here. Green Bay is like 75, 80,000 people. No, let's say like 100,000. Appleton is probably about 85. Oshkosh is about 70. Fond du Lac is probably about 55. The Milwaukee area is like a million. How many in Chicago? Maybe like 4 million people. So you're
Oh, it's
talking
almost
about
10 million.
yeah, you're talking about from here to here, like, and again, this is 2 hours, 2 hours. That yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of people. This is basically like most of the Midwest. Or a good chunk of the Midwest of where people in the Midwest live. And then, okay, so
What I wanted to ask you though, where would the commercial be on though? Would it be online?
both. So we run it on. Uh, I know this guy who had a restaurant in Chicago, not in Chicago, in Oshkosh. It was called the Water City Grill. He would broadcast on Fox News. I would see that commercial all the time. I asked one of my friends on Facebook, Bill Zazinski, knows this the guy who owned the restaurant. He said it cost him about $500 to produce it. For us, it wouldn't cost anything. I already between Edward and myself, we already have all the equipment, so we could make as many of these commercials basically as we wanted.
Yeah, but then you have to pay for the spot, right?
Yeah. That gets back to this. Um, we pay ourselves
Okay.
$40 an hour. Any extra money goes into advertising. That's left over. Like it's in the account or whatever. Anything extra goes in the advertising. But then also we would advertise. We have a separate YouTube channel, and we could set up the commercials, of course, on YouTube as well, and through social media, so through Twitter, through as much as possible, because I'm sure that's a lot less to advertise on social media than it would be on commercials. But commercials are probably a little bit, after we've already had some
Right.
some clients and we're starting to build, like a reputation, then we start, this is a multi-year plan.
Because I was going to say, I mean, on Facebook, that's where I know a lot of younger people have left Facebook, but a lot of the older, middle-aged and older people are using Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. And so obviously advertise on, create a Facebook page, create a Twitter and Instagram, do it all, and then advertise videos. This is what I have for a launch date. I think this is realistic. Mid-March 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then should be enough high resolution photos to actually make it work. And then basically the website would be WordPress. I talked to my brother yesterday, and he said WordPress was the one would be the best one to use. If you go to WordPress, you can set up a business website for about $300 per year, and you get like 24/7 support with that, as well as a way to process payments. My brother recommended. He said that there's someone who sets up WordPress templates for like maybe like not very expensive, like maybe like $40 or $50, where you can. She's kind of got a website like a simple website set up already, and then you can customize that simple website further. And then Google Voice. This is like a free phone service that you can use. So like for people to call us. I don't know too much about it, but I looked into it a little bit today. As long as the other person has a Google account, it should be free to make phone calls over Google. So that's kind of where we're at with that. That's about it.
Okay.
Any
Did
other
you get a
questions?
chance to look at the pictures that I posted? Like if they looked okay?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I couldn't tell what folder it was. You
Okay.
go in and mark it like a market as like Mike. Like anytime you put up a folder, put your name on it so I know that you're the one who put it up there.
Mhm.
And Google Drive.
Yeah, do you want me to, like, should I just be taking pictures of just any places, or do you want me to, like, be going back to the same places every few weeks, or?
Yeah, ideally, yeah, try to find some locations that, like, for instance, this sort of dirt road, like this was taken yesterday, and then you'd come back maybe a week or two later, and then take relatively the same photo. That way, it shows the progression of seasons.
Yeah.
And it ties in the progression of the seasons progressing as our lives progress, the seasons progress, and that sort of theme, that seasons of life theme, that sort of thing. Um, so, I mean, that's what I have so far. Again, Edward, not sure. He seems interested definitely in doing it. But this is the way I kind of have it mapped out. And the other thing too, I mean, this idea of marketing people who are still alive, I think this it could be big, just because we can. There's a lot of people who, like, what do I want to say to the world while I'm still here, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could. There's definitely a market for this. This is definitely something that we can sell. It's just we have enough business sense to actually make it happen. That's from my estimation. Um, and if nothing else, if it ends up failing, uh, maybe like I only spent like $1,000. So like because I already own like a lot of this equipment, Edward already owns a lot of this equipment. It's not really going to cost us much beyond like $300 for a website, and then uh, some maybe um, some commercials on that sort of thing. But yeah, mid March is kind of what I would like to. Um, any other questions from you?
Well, by mid-March, would we have? We wouldn't really have a lot of pictures for summer, right?
I did, but I started taking some pictures in August, and so I do have
Okay.
some summer ones.
Okay.
Um, and plus, as I'm just saying, like we could by mid March we could uh, start doing these. 'Cause those photos that I took from August and things like that, we would have enough that we could start to market this. And of course, as we moved into um, April, May, and June, we would collect a lot more, that sort of thing. It's something I think uh, we should try to keep this going for at least like give it like a 2 year try, and then if after 2 years if we're still not making anything, then just kind of do that to hell with it. We tried, but at least like we gave it a good shot, and it's a good idea. And maybe it'll take off, maybe it won't, but at least we tried.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you'd want me to do in the meantime, other than just take more photos?
Uh, if you want uh, to you want to start setting up like a Facebook page and like a Twitter and like a Instagram, and what else is this TikTok still around or not?
Yeah, it is, but I'm not familiar with that.
I'm not really familiar with TikTok either, but I know a lot of people. It's sort of like a popular thing. Um,
Is that
we
even
could,
something that you would use for? Isn't that more just like for making videos, like short videos?
maybe that's something that can be explored. But you want to just start to create like the main social media accounts.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, is there anything like? Should I just like basically set it up and? Because I can't really put anything on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just use the name Seasons of Life Memorials.
Okay.
Seasons of Life Memorials. Because I already got that Gmail account. I already
Right.
registered Seasons of Life at Gmail. Seasons of Life Memorials. So just set that up, and then what I'm going to do in the next week is I'm going to try to use that Fiverr site, and I'm going to try to get a logo created.
Okay.
Those vector-based logos that you can make it as big as small as
Mhm.
resolution.
Mhm.
And then
Can you go back to that picture that you made of the logo?
yeah, sure. So it kind of be like like a half moon shape, and then in the middle there's the sun, and maybe some more
Yeah.
pictures of some fossil wheat.
It's
And
hard for me to see what that is. Like it's hard to see on the screen. Can I zoom in somehow?
uh, I
Yeah, I
think you
can
can.
zoom in.
uh,
I'm zooming in. Got it.
I'm not very good, obviously, at drawing. This is just something I drew in like 10 minutes. Just it's. I like this idea. I like this picture next to it. It almost looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. You know,
What does?
this photo of a low setting sun.
Oh,
and then it's got like half of the field is plowed and then half of it's not plowed. So you get the idea of like, okay, this is like sort of right as summer is ending and fall is beginning. So it's like it plays on that theme of like the changing of the seasons, which is sort of like the theme of the whole, what we're trying to do.
Yeah, in the picture, did you? So it says Seasons of Life memorials, like in a rainbow, and
Yeah,
then you've got the sun,
and then the
and then you
tagline
said,
lies mortal.
what are those lines? Are those like the grasses that you were talking about?
Yeah, those are like the wheat, the husks of wheat or whatever.
This kind of has some references to the Field Film Festival.
Yeah, we'll have to get Amanda to draw it. I think she calls herself Kelly now.
Okay. Um.
The Amanda we knew has died.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know. If the tagline. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
The idea I thought for the tagline is we make loved ones immortal.
Okay.
You like that better?
Well, yeah, it's a little better. I just don't know if I'm a fan of the immortal part. I'm not. I don't know if I'm sold on that. Um, just because it's just to me a little. Um, it's not totally true. It's a little disingenuous.
That's true. We're not making people immortal, but we're making we make memories immortal.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to go with the mortals, for me, I would go something more like that, like the memories or the even the when you said the loved ones, even that sounded better because even that would still go on in their mind. It would still be for their memory. Um,
We
yeah,
make loved memories immortal. We make loved memories immortal.
yeah, or yeah, I think maybe going along with memories, like we make your memories immortal. I don't know. I'd have to think a little bit more about that.
All right. Well, let me know. Just think about that.
I mean, if you want me to, I don't want to. I don't want to step into this too much because this was your idea.
Yeah, but I mean, the collaboration process is an important, piece of working as a team. You know, I want to make sure that you feel that you're a part of this. It's kind of like we used to um, when my brother and I were kids. We used to watch GI Joe cartoon at the end of on afternoon after school.
Hmm.
And at the end, the government got involved because like they said that these cartoons they're just advertisements selling the toys. So the way they got around it is they put like a 30-second PSA at the end of the cartoon. And so it'd be
Hmm.
something like some life lesson that was important. So there was one where like that I remember one of the GI Joe characters walked up to a kid. He's like, "Hey, take this stick and break it." And then he takes the stick and he breaks it. And he's like, that was easy to do. And he's like, now take this bundle of sticks and break it. And he tries to take the bundle of sticks and he's like, I can't. It's too strong. And he's like, the lesson for today is like when you work as a team, it's like just like this bundle, like it doesn't break. So it's that sort of idea. Like if we're working as a team, it's the business is much more likely to survive than if we try to work individually. That's sort of the thought. Um,
So what are you saying that the business would be the bundle? Is that what
yeah,
you're? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you know,
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
just let me, think about the tagline, and we'll before I send off that logo to be designed, we'll finalize what we think is best, and then move forward from there. So I guess I'll try to send this recording to Edward and my brother. Otherwise, we'll schedule another meeting in a few weeks, and hopefully by then we have maybe a website, a rudimentary website, and then we have a logo. We have more photos, and hopefully the Bula documentary is finished, and hopefully my dad's one is finished. Then we can start getting a better idea of like an actual launch day. Does that sound good?
Yeah, and what has to be finished with the Bula documentary?
Like the last 3 minutes.
Okay.
What happened is we went and we shot on September 2nd, which is the day that Bula, his brain blood vessel burst. And we actually took a drone to the graveyard, and then so we all showed, like everyone who was interviewed, like myself, my brother, Rick, and then Rob. We all show up at the gravestone, and we all say a final goodbye to Bula. And then the drone drifts away, sort of like Bula's soul is drifting away. So it's kind of a nice little ending to the film. But I have to wait for my audio guys to finish that. They're sort of busy with their regular jobs. Hopefully it's finished in the next couple of weeks. So. Otherwise, I'm gonna start getting ready for see that Kid Detective movie, and otherwise, we'll just think about the tagline and then start on those Facebook page. Make sure it's a company page too, not a personal page. Gives
Okay.
you the option of like a company.
Well,
just like when I set up the Gmail account, I set it up as a business. I didn't set it up as a personal email. I set it up as a business email account.
so do I have to like make a new account on Facebook, or can I use my account and then just set it up as a?
I think you have to create an entirely new one. You have to
Okay.
like log in and then like take that Gmail account. I'll send you the credentials. I think I'll email you the login credentials.
Okay.
And then just you can use that Gmail account that I already created to create all those other social media accounts.
Okay.
So. All right, so just look for that, and then I'll see you. I'll be in touch, and I'll see you, in the future. I don't know if we'll be getting together with Derek anytime soon, just because my brother and I tried to do some outside dining yesterday when it was all windy, and it was just like it's not happening. Like outside, if the wind is blowing, it's not going to work as far as like outside dining. In Wisconsin, in the winter.
Is there no indoor dining?
Well, it was just on the news. Milwaukee, the city of Milwaukee, they extended their outside dining like through March.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna, like because of the coronavirus, like people are gonna dine outside. I'm telling you from experience. I tried to do that yesterday, and it's not possible in Wisconsin to dine in the middle of winter. If the wind is blowing whatsoever, it's too cold.
Well, so is the indoor dining? Are you saying that you're not interested in that?
Well, we'll have to see what the numbers look like. Like if it's like really in the red, or just try to meet up when the restaurant's hardly, like hardly anyone in there. But the last times we went to Cafe Holland, it was busy.
Well, and I was gonna say there too. We ate inside there anyway.
Yeah, that was when the numbers were a lot lower too.
Yeah. And I was surprised. I mean, we were up there on that top level. There was really no one else up there.
Yeah. I'll email you those credentials, and then start on that, and then keep taking pictures, and then we'll be in touch. So, otherwise, have a good rest of your weekend.
All right. See you, Damon.
Bye.
Bye.
I figure out how to stop recording.